Hello and welcome you crazy people to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today I'm just going to be very casually throwing out the proposition or the question for you guys, whether or not you think there is a shortage of cool villains for the Imperials for Star Wars Legion. Now I'm talking specifically about Star Wars Legion because it's currently set in the Galactic Civil War, i.e. the original trilogy timeline. We've not moved beyond that. Whether or not we will is a bigger question for a better day and possibly more in-depth consideration. Whereas for now, I just want to talk about whether or not there's any cool bad guys, which, I mean, it's a bit of a silly topic, but you know, we'll go there. So why am I even talking about this? Well, when I think of people who are coming into the game who aren't big Star Wars fans. So if you're a big Star Wars fan, you might not necessarily agree with me on this because you might be like, oh, but you know, Krennic is super interesting. No, I'm not. Or Hooks, they're not. Obviously, that's not original trilogy, but you know what I mean. Like those officer people in the back, you know, in the Death Star, or whatever. You might really like them. Whereas I just think the casual person might have no idea who they are. So that's my point. And so I should obviously say the Rebels, I think, don't have this problem. I think there's enough cool Rebel characters that this doesn't matter for them as much. I think partly because they're the good guys, so the films obviously focus on them a lot more, which makes perfect sense. And obviously you grow to like them more. So I think even the casual person will know them. And when I'd say there's more, people like Luke, Leia, Han, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and then you can even go beyond that. You could even say like Chewbacca, C-3PO, even R2-D2 is quite well liked, General Akbar. Like people will be happy and they will determine these as cool. Now I'm probably not the one who should be determining things as cool. I'm an aging guy, like a bit of a nerd, so I'm probably not the one to determine cool. But I sort of feel like the Rebels don't have this problem. Whether or not it will be a problem for them, I mean, maybe you know more than I know. But for the Imperials, Darth Vader, we started with Darth Vader in the core set. It's been a long time since he was revealed in the, what was it, 1972 or something, the original film. Either way, he's been around a while and people still love him. He's still cool, intimidating, impressive. People like Darth Vader. Makes perfect sense. And then you come to General Vias and it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, now, if you're a Star Wars fan, you are like, yeah, General Vias. And even as a non-Star Wars fan, I am a Star Wars fan, but you know what I mean, not a massive Star Wars fan. Like, I like his rules in the game. I think he's a very interesting character, but I don't think he's cool. And I think if you're an outsider coming into Star Wars Legion, you're going to be like, who? Like, I just feel like most people will know who he is. Maybe that's just me assuming incorrectly, but that's how I feel. And then Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett to me is sort of an indication that there is a lack of cool people on the Imperial side directly because he's not even properly Imperial. He's like a bad guy, but he's sort of a bounty hunter. And that's why he's got his own operative status in the game. Can't say he's not cool, but they've already used him up. Do you know what I mean? I love he's so flavorful in his rule set and stuff like that. I really, really like him. But then I've got to look like who's next. Now, if we talk about not the Galactic Civil War period, in the future, you know, maybe we go back, we get Darth Maul. Maybe we go in the future, we get Kylo Ren. You know, I'm sure there are some like cool characters around. But for the original sequel, like original trilogy timeline, there's only a few I can even think. We got Palpatine. Is he cool? Is it Palpatine firing his lightning going? Is he cool? I mean, maybe not. Tarkin, I actually like Grand Moff. But whether or not he's cool, again, I would say not. I think I've got to differentiate between cool and interesting. Like those characters would be interesting, but they wouldn't be cool. And this cool factor that I'm talking about is obviously 100% arbitrary. I'm completely aware of that. So maybe you'll be like, I really like Palpatine shooting his lightning. He is incredible. I don't know what accent I'm trying to do for you there, but I do apologize. And you know, and there's obviously some generals and stuff like that who are behind the scenes that you probably know that I probably don't even know. And there's one character that I think a lot of people do like, but I've not actually seen anything with him in it. I just keep seeing people talking about him, and that is Thrawn. Now, I suspect we're going to get Thrawn, but if you're just somebody who's watched the original films, obviously you don't know who he is. So just keep that in mind. But obviously I think Thrawn, if he's so well talked about and so well liked, he probably is cool. And then I'm sort of like, who else could it be? I don't really know. I'm sure there are people out there, like those droids, for example. They have that, the medical droid and stuff like that, who are also bounty hunters trying to get Han. Maybe, but I feel like you've sort of you've used that cool factor with Boba Fett. So I'm just not really sure like where they're going to get some cool bad guys from. Is basically my point. Whereas I think the Rebels still have quite a long way, like still have quite a few options to go. Chewie, Obi-Wan, Yoda. I mean, I doubt we'd get Yoda in the originals, but because he's a bit old at the time, and he passes away. Spoilers if you've not seen the original trilogy. So yeah, like I just feel like if they are going to keep the original timeline, then I think there's possibly a limitation on the coolness of the army. I think there's still plenty of options. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is going to translate into physical options on the table. I'm just saying this translates into coolness and interest and intrigue and that kind of thing. But let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely interested. Maybe I've missed some cool people that could have been. I would love to go back to people. I mean, I'm not really bothered about the new trilogy. Like, you know, I think Kylo Ren's obviously very interesting with his mask. Even Snoke's sort of interesting, hooks and that kind of thing. But I would love to go to the prequels. I sort of feel like the prequels had more possibility for intrigue and coolness. Like Count Dooku, yes indeed. General Grievous, yes, I would take that. Do you know, like, I mean, Darth Maul, obviously, classic, I mentioned him before. They would be, I mean, I would love them. I really want a prequel. I want them to announce the prequel, like the Clone War period. I think they're going to do that in X-Wing. I would love for them to do it in Legion. However, I think the next logical step, if there is going to be another faction, will be probably the First Order or whatever they're called in the new ones, and go Kylo Ren, because the films have been made and it makes sense to tie in with that. You know, they had Han Solo and Boba Fett to tie in with the Han Solo film sort of period. So like that's probably the logical step. But I want to go back to the prequels. I just feel like there's a lot of like, the films may not have been so good, but the aesthetic of it is actually still very cool. So yeah, who do you think will be like commanders for the Imperial army? Who's like, I've got Thrawn, Palpatine is a maybe, Tarkin, and then who's left? Like, I actually just don't know. Like, I'm in a weird position where I'm not just an outsider for Star Wars, because I'm obviously playing the games and stuff like that, but I'm not. There's some people who are massive Star Wars fans who will be like, but Jay, you forgot about this real cool guy, and he's super cool. And I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that maybe somebody who's just casually coming into the game, they walk past a table at a convention or something, they see Darth Vader, like, oh, he's cool. They see General Veers, they're like, he just looks like a normal guy. Who that guy? Who that guy? Where you see on the Rebels, you could see Han, Luke, you know, Leia, maybe Yoda. I keep saying Yoda because I think Yoda's cool, but you know what I mean? Like Chewbacca. I feel like people are like, yeah, I know those guys. I like this game. That's just my thoughts. I don't think it really matters in a sense of like, it doesn't change the game in any way. Like, as long as the rules are interesting and the game's sort of kept slightly balanced, I don't think it changes the game. I just sort of feel like it might change the appeal for casual players. But I mean, I don't think it's that big of an issue really in the long term. I hope I've rambled on for like nearly 10 minutes. I hope I haven't made it seem like I think it's the most crucial issue of all time, because I don't think it is. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. This video is not meant to be me saying there is not enough cool villains. I mean, I might believe that, but it's meant to be more opening a discussion. So let me know your thoughts. Very interested indeed. If you like this video, then I'm like, why would you like this one? As ever, you know, subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, please do. Thank you. I don't do this enough, but I want to say thank you to all the Patreons again. We had another one this week, and very happy about that. Still, I'm like, feel like having moved house, everything's a mess, but trying to get back in the swing of things. Have a most beautiful day. Like, subscribe. Goodbye. Bye, guys.